Ladies and gentlemen, here we are talking about the Master Duel update. I had a lot of people in the stream yesterday asking for my opinion on the Master Duel update and what I think. What do I think it's positive for the game? Of course, it's positive for the game, but I wanted to talk about it a little bit more in depth and wanted to kind of get all my ideas in one place for a YouTube video, because I've never really talked about it on YouTube. I've always talked about it on Twitch, where I think Master Duel can release as many cards as it wants, can release any ban list it wants, and it won't ultimately matter because the game was still incomplete, for lack of a better term. And these updates that they're adding, I think, have a lot of things that have been missing from the game, if you will. When Master Duel was first introduced to us, we were told it was going to be the competitive esports of Yu-Gi-Oh! That's what it was translated to. I don't know if that's a direct translation, a mistranslation, or what that was, but it has not been the competitive game of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Community. In fact, if you are playing Duel Links right now, you are actually playing a more competitive version of Yu-Gi-Oh! Than you are of Master Duel. This is true mathematically. We can tell this is 100% true. A, community tournaments get way more signups for Duel Links players. B, you can be the best Master Duel player in the whole world, and you still will not go to Worlds because there's simply no path to Yu-Gi-Oh! Worlds through Master Duel right now. So this hopefully will change all of that. This Duelist Cup edition will hopefully be what we need to kind of get that, and we'll talk about that. We'll break that down. There's also a few other things. I'm going to mention them here in the beginning. I'm not going to talk too much about them, but we're going to have a non-ranked mode, which I think is super awesome because, you know, after you get to a certain rank, Platinum, Diamond, you just start seeing the same deck over and over and over, and that's no fun for anyone. And plus, once you hit max rank, there's nothing else to do in the game. So rather than playing against just the same decks over and over and over, I think having the ability to play against meme decks with your own meme decks is great. So awesome. It'll probably end up being bot queue, just like it is in Duel Links. All the bots show up. That's probably what's going to happen in there. And duel animations only showing once. I don't know if that means the actual summoning animations or all duel animations. Hopefully it's all duel animations. Because the one thing that's keeping this game from being super easy and accessible is the time restraint and time that you have to spend per game to actually play this game. New event, Duelist Cup, will take place on the dates listed above from the 9th to the 22nd. That is a long time period for that to be taking place of. So I'm very curious to see what type of format they're going to use, and I think I might know. I'll tell you here in a second. Duelist Cup is an event that tests your might against other duelists using the ranked duels forbidden limit list. Duel with duelists around the world and become the world's top duelist. In addition to the updates listed above, improvements will be made. Please note that we may move things you know, in the schedule if need be. Now, for those that don't play Duel Links, in Duel Links, what they do for their KC Cup, it's called, is they basically do an ELO system over 3 days, right? Well, actually, there's a stage 1 and a stage 2. Stage 1 is just normal. You get to max rank. It's like normal ranked mode. And then stage 2 is where they do the actual competitive mode. It's 2 days, and in those 2 days, you go through and you play as many games as possible. And it would then, whoever has the highest DP, which is essentially ELO, would be slotted into the next phase of the tournament, which is basically a Swiss into Top Cut best of 1, and then finally you play a best of 3 event with 3 different decks. Now, if I had to guess what's going to happen in Master Duel, because this is extremely longer than that time period. That time period is about 2 weekends, right? This is from the 9th to the 22nd. It's basically the whole month. So half the month, if you will. So I think it's going to be a little bit different. I think what they're going to do with the Duelist Cup, I do think it's still going to be best of 1s. I don't think that right now we can, you know, say it's going to be best of 3s. I wish it were best of 3s, but realistically what's going to happen is there's going to be an ELO system set up from the 9th to the 22nd. I think they're going to skip the first stage altogether, maybe even make it so you have to be like diamond and ranked to participate or something like that. Maybe not. Maybe they'll decide to put a stage 1, and stage 1 lasts a week, and then the rest is all ELO. I think the actual ELO portion is going to last longer because duels naturally last longer in Master Duel, and that's always the one thing you have to keep in mind with Master Duel is the amount of time that you will be in a game. You could be in a game for up to 30 minutes, and when these games become games that you don't want to scoop because every game will either add to your ELO system or reduce your ELO, which, if people don't know what ELO is, it's like a chess term that's been spread around, and it's called duelist points in Yu-Gi-Oh, and they've called it numerous things over time. Basically, it's giving you a rating, a ranking, and if you lose to someone with a lower ranking, you lose more points than you would have, but if you lose to someone with a higher ranking, you don't lose as many points. The idea is to try and match you with someone of similar skill level. That's kind of the entire idea behind an ELO system, and why I've always wanted it for a ranked mode. But I think they're going to do it for this Duelist Cup instead, which is fine. That's fine if they want to do it this way as well. My guess is they're going to do best of ones through the entire first phase here, and then whatever the next phase will be, that's when they'll start busting out the best of threes. Alternatively, in a perfect world, what I would love to see is from the 9th, maybe like the 9th through that weekend or something, is where the best of ones happen, and then the following days is kind of like a knockout stage where you play best of threes in game, and you just have to show up whenever your match is announced in game. I think that would be super awesome and a good way to introduce the best of three system into Master Duel. Through the Duelist Cup specifically, I would love to see best of three happen somewhere in this event specifically, and not like, you know, oh well, you have to win to get to best of three, because I do think best of three is super important to Master Duel's structure. I think best of three is what the ban list is around, and what the cards being released, they're all under the assumption that it's going to be best of three. Yes, our ban list is a little bit more unique now. It's gone through a little bit more changes than OCG and TCG, but it's still largely TCG, which was, you know, it was balanced around the idea of having that best of three system implemented. So I think best of three is just required for any competitive level Master Duel games. Other than that, I think this is amazing. This is what I've been asking for like 7 months now. You know, it's hard as me as a content creator. It's hard to host tournaments for a game that doesn't have as many competitive players as I'd like it to have, right? Because the competitive players are all playing TCG, they're all playing, you know, Duel Links. There's more competitive players in Duel Links right now because you can actually get to Worlds through Duel Links, and you couldn't before. But now, I believe with the Duelist Cup, there will be a path to Worlds, or at least like a Worlds Cup that they can do, and it all starts with this Duelist Cup thing, and this is probably like their beta phase testing of it, so hopefully it all goes well. Hopefully more competitive players flock back into Master Duel. You know, I'm very interested to see what format they use, because whatever format they end up using will more than likely be what format every competitive community tournament is going to adapt, because the big question mark that we have had here is, you know, how do we deal with the time restrictions in Master Duel? Time restrictions, you know, they're brutal in Master Duel. So hopefully we can have some more in-game tools, maybe some in-room best of three settings, something like that, to really, you know, promote the Duelist Cup. And hopefully this is a start of Master Duel's, you know, revitalization. The game kind of, you know, tampered off there as Konami didn't give any serious updates. They had the festivals, which is fine, but the festivals are all just grinding gems with True Draco. You know, that's not what's going to keep Master Duel alive. It's the competition. This game needs to be the competitive game of Yu-Gi-Oh, and it can be the competitive game of Yu-Gi-Oh. We've seen it. You know, we've seen glimpses of it, you know, being the competitive game. So here's hoping that this goes well. I hope the Duelist Cup is awesome. I hope best of three is somehow included, at least in this August phase. If not, it's probably just going to copy the KC Cup straight up, just like how they copied the Duel Links ranked mode. Hopefully ranked, now that there's a casual queue, ranked can be a true ranked mode, and we don't have to, you know, like, if you're a casual player, that's fine. Go play in casual queue. Go play your Blue Eyes and Dark Magician deck in the casual queue, and then competitive players can play in the ranked mode, and we can have a true ranked setting, which is full, you know, it's going to be full of meta decks, but hey, that's competitive Yu-Gi-Oh, right? Because now we can truly have proper ban lists and everything, that Konami can pull the data and be like, yeah, in the Duelist Cup, this is the only deck that was played. Ban it, get prank kids out of here, or whatever the case may be. That's going to be it from me. I just wanted to share my opinion on this. I hope you guys have a fantastic day. Y'all enjoy the update. Peace out, boys.